This digital product makes over $18,000 per month. It's an absolute monster. It's huge. It's a beast. It makes money. And I'm going to show you in just a few minutes exactly how to make something like this. And guys, my name's AJ. I do all things AI, Etsy, making money online so that I can help you do the same. So if you're interested in anything like that, then do check out my channel. I got over 850 videos to help you. So remember, hit the like, subscribe, smash that notification bell so you can get more of my videos in your feed. So let me explain to you exactly what this opportunity is. Let me show you. So right now I'm on Etsy and I'm looking at an example of a listing that actually does this product. Now, this is what it is. If you have a look at it, this is a digital product of a story on a timeline. Now they call it a relationship map, right? Story of us. So it could be something where you're creating this great story, which is created through drawings, which is really, really nice. Okay. And it shows the story of this couple, Amy and John, in this case, as the example of where they met, where they lived, when they got engaged and what year. And it goes through the whole process. It's a really nice, if you like, visual story. Okay. And people love things like this. So it's custom, it's personalized. And if you didn't know, the custom and personalized niche on Etsy and any platform that sells digital products is really, really wanted and makes a lot of money because everybody wants something that's catered for them. Now, check this out. Before I explain it further, this digital product, and I'm using my go-to research SEO tool, it's called EVERBEE. Do check out the link below. If you do want to sell on places like Etsy, then you need a fantastic tool and I really recommend it and you can try it out for free. Now, this makes $18,493 per month, guys. That equates to over $220,000 a year. It's just crazy, guys. Now, look at it. Check this out, right? I'm going to go through some other information using EVERBEE. Now, this is why I love EVERBEE. Now, if I go down to the graph and I'm going to show you all time. Now, this is a 16-month-old listing, right? So they've been selling for 16 months. It's got a growth rate of 3,200%. And this is what I'm trying to say, guys. You got to always look and see where the trends are, what the growth rate is to understand the opportunities out there. Now, one thing I will say is it's something that is custom or personalized, which has already given me a big tick. It's also something that is an interesting niche because this is something that is not saturated, something that is still where people can get into and still make money, because I've seen listings that are younger than this, that are recent listings that are also making good money. Now, if we look at this further, I'm going to show you a few other things. You can see that this is the seller. What they do, they offer two versions. They do this kind of, if you like, this curvy style or a straight style of the story of the couple, for example. And this story is a really great gift for weddings, and it's just something that, in fact, the couple could have on their wall in their home, as newlyweds. It's just an amazing gift. And the wedding niche is a fantastic niche anyway, but this is a really good angle. Now, it shows ideas that you can include in the story, in the sort of drawing, if you like, in the drawings where, where they met, travel scenes, and so forth, right? It even gives you tips on what you need to kind of do and how long it's going to take, what details you need to include. So the listing is really good. It's really detailed. It goes further and it shows what you should include. So, for example, 6 to 8 destinations, maybe where the couples met, some, venues, maybe pets or children that could be included within it, that they could mention, interest or hobbies. So it just gives you a really good picture about how that story started and, where they are right now. Now, what the opportunity is basically is that I'm going to show you how to create something like this in literally a few minutes, where you can actually create and sell something like this digital relationship map on platforms like Etsy or something else. And we're going to use AI to produce something like this. In fact, we're going to use ChatGPT, which is a fantastic way of making this. But I'm going to go through a few steps before so you can see my exact process. And guys, just before I show you this, right, this is amazing. Look, this costs $316, right? That's how much you can charge for a digital file. Look at it. It's a digital download. You can see it there. That's what it's written. Instant download, right? That's all it is, right? You get a digital file. Anyway, let's jump onto ChatGPT. Okay, so guys, I'm on ChatGPT right now. In fact, I'm on ChatGPT 5. And what I've done is I've done a few things, right? The first thing I've done is I've asked ChatGPT, firstly, to study these listings. So what you can do is if you want to you want ChatGPT to understand what it is that you want to produce, you can get it to study listings and just see what they are, right? It's about looking at your competition, right? Just studying them, understanding them so it can know what it needs to produce, right? I've said study these, just like do your research, right? To ChatGPT, do your research. And I want you to create a design similar to these styles, right? Because obviously I want it to be original to me. I don't want it to be exactly the same as these. I want just the principle, the framework to be similar, okay? In terms of like having illustrations to represent the story of the lives of this couple. Okay. So I want you to create something similar to these styles. Before I do, I want to create a design like similar to these styles. And I'm going to say using these ideas for the design story. Okay. This is what I want you to design. This is what I want you to design, and I've said these are 10 ideas to create. Number one, the couple Mike and Lisa, just as an example, met in London, so that could be their first image. So I need a drawing at the top of a couple standing by Big Ben in London. So you need to describe what it is, because what will happen is the customer will send you the details of what they want on the illustration. You do want them to be as detailed as possible, and really all you need to do is take that information and you need to just input it on ChatGPT. You just tell the customer that you want maybe 8 to 10, maybe more, it's up to you, 8 to 10 highlights of their lives, right? Up until when they got married. And again, it could be including destinations where they spent time, hobbies, interests, family, friends, whatever it is, and then to show it step by step. So I've said that for the first one. Then I've said number 2, they sit down in an Italian restaurant eating pizza. Number 3, a drawing of them on a plane, going to Rome. So a picture of the Colosseum with the plane, that kind of thing, right? So that it shows, the progression of their lives and where they got to, where they've been, what they've had as an experiences and so on. Anyway, this is the little bit that you need to kind of make sure you get right, make sure it's customized, personalized, and it has all the details. But really, this information can come from the customer. You just need to make sure that you're very clear on what you want the customer to provide for you. And like I said, you can look at examples on Etsy that explain exactly that, what they require to be able to produce this design. Anyways, once you've got all that information, then you can hit sort of enter. Okay, so once you've done that, you just hit enter, and then it's going to come out with a lot of information, right? Here are 10 design ideas, sketches for the story map, drawing of Mike and Lisa. It kind of goes through like a lot of information, right? It gives you a lot of information, talks about what it could include as the icons. It basically starts explaining what the concept is and the notes and what they're going to do and what they're going to draw for each little scene, which is really interesting. So it's definitely grasped what I asked it to do by just doing its research and looking around at all these different types of, story maps, right? And it's literally gone through like, the whole thing, like it's crazy. And then it says, if you like, I can mock up a few sample sketches, very rough, with 2 or 3 versions. You can pick the layout you prefer. Amazing. Like, give me choices. Yes, please. Right? Yes, please. Let's see what it does. So basically, it's going to start give me some versions, but I'll be really, really interested to see what it produces. Now, ideally, I want it in the same sort of style that I've asked it. Okay, it's starting to produce something for me. Okay, so it's created a version which is not like what I wanted at all. It says, do you want me to create other mockups? I want it in the style of a line drawing similar to the example listings I gave you. So to be honest, it's not in the style that I wanted. They do have the sections and some of that information, but they don't have it in the similar way. I want it in the style of a line drawing similar to the example listings I gave you. Please change. Okay, let's see if you understood. Now it's getting started. Now I also gave it a bit of extra information. I wanted it in that line drawing style. Okay, so look, we can see that we're getting there slowly. We're improving. Okay, now I'm going to say create it in a more sketchy and scribbly, handwritten and drawn style. okay, with more intricate detail and more drawings to fill the spaces. Okay. Now, what will happen is, see, ChatGPT slowly starting to understand exactly what I want. And once you do have a framework in place, then you can literally start applying that same framework into all the custom and personalized drawings that you do produce in the future. But it needs to still understand exactly how to produce it. Now, how I'm doing this is I keep adding more prompts to move towards that style that is produced, the ones that are very popular, the ones that are making money, the best sellers out there. But I have to describe these things to ChatGPT for it to understand. Okay, so it's starting to generate the drawings, the sort of story map. And you can see that, it's very much more sort of hand-drawn style, very sketchy. It's actually really, really nice. I mean, to be fair to it, it's very, very nice. And remember, don't forget, I didn't really give it, as much detail in terms of the written initial prompt as I could or should. All right, I'm going to say take away the sketchy style, make sure it is only using a black line drawing with less detail on the drawings and faceless. Right, let's have a look. That was a bit too much detail, but you can see that what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to move towards the examples. And, sometimes it does take a bit of time because don't forget, this is the first time that we're trying to produce this sort of style. Once the style is established, then it will understand exactly how to produce the next storylines or story maps or the custom story maps that you want to produce. Okay, guys, so you can see how it's coming together. Right, it's coming together now. Now, what I need is I need a lot more detail because, as you can see, I just described 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things, and really you need a lot more designs there. You need at least 8, probably 10, maybe more, so that it fills up the space nicely. But you do get the idea of how it can work. Now, also make sure line work looks imperfect as if drawn by hand. Okay, now the line work looks a little bit too good. I want it a little bit more imperfect, a bit like it's been hand drawn. So I've said make sure line work looks imperfect as if drawn by hand. Okay, and let's see what happens. Okay, a little bit better, but to be honest, if I look at the last version, I probably prefer that style more. But like I said, this is how you start tweaking and working on it. I would definitely add more detail to these because I haven't included enough points in it. And don't forget, guys, whatever style you produce in the end, then that is the style that you're going to use as your mock-up. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. Now, let's say obviously you're going to make more detail of this and you're going to just perfect it still. Probably needs a few more tweaks on the chat in terms of the prompts just to get it in the exact style that I will be really happy with. But you can see how it progresses as you explain what you want from, say, this one, which was totally off what I wanted, to this one, which is too sketchy. Then it's more line work and so on. But you can see that it's getting there and it just needs a few more prompts to get there. But you get the idea of how to actually change it now. Okay, coming back to the example listing, you can see it got a lot more detail because there are more points that are made. So all you need to do is add to ChatGPT some more ideas of what to include in the drawings and also more detail of some of the main destinations or special dates or whatever things you're going to include. But coming back to how to find these, you can just type in story map or relationship map. And then what you'll find is you're going to see lots of different styles of these. And like I said to you guys, you don't have to use an exact same style as one that you've seen. There are many different types you can see here. So have a look, see the things that work the best, because obviously there are styles that work better than others. There are bestsellers out there. And, even this one doesn't have as much. Here's a few examples that you can see now right in front of you. Here's another few examples here. Here's another few examples here. Here's another few examples here. So what you'll see is that there are different types of styles. I mean, they are similar in terms of the illustration, some more detailed than others, some maybe have a slightly different look, but there is a certain way of doing it. But this is a fantastic opportunity, guys. But remember, guys, it's all well and good having a great idea or having a great listing that works, that is unsaturated, that you can get into, you do need to do all the right stuff with it. You do need to make sure that your title is fantastic. It's got all the right SEO. You need to make sure that you do your research properly. Make sure that you look at those good listings that have great mock-ups. Like some of these have great mock-ups. They showcase the design fantastically well, and it's something that will attract you. You'd want to click on it. There is so much to selling on Etsy, and it's not just about having a great idea. So make sure that you also be responsive with your customers really quick. Some of these bestsellers are really great at communication. You need to be the same. So it's really important to have a fantastic idea, but there is so much more to selling on platforms like Etsy. So as I said before, you need a fantastic research SEO tool like EVERBEE. You'll see the link in my description. Try it out for free, but I know you're going to love it. And this is going to help you towards your goal of making this kind of money. So as you can see, guys, there's so much to selling on Etsy. It's not just simply having a great listing. So make sure that you do all of those things. And remember, if you do want more tips on Etsy, you want to know about how to sell digital products, you want to know how to create these fantastic digital products, remember, please hit the like, subscribe, smash the notification bell. Do check out my Stan store. The link is below with freebies, workshops, tips, downloads that you can have a look at as well to help you on your journey. But yeah, remember, hit the like, subscribe, smash that notification bell to get more of my videos in your feed. And thanks for watching. Take care.